Hello, and welcome back to our Squad Leader tutorial series. Before we start with the movement phase, I wanted to do a follow-up on our Guns as Targets video. I have to give a shout out to my friends at Bounding Fire Productions. Their Poland and Frames Squad Leader pack is fantastic. It comes with a highly detailed magazine which covers the Polish campaign in September 1939. It also has a fantastic article on all the aspects of guns in Advanced Squad Leader, with detailed examples of play. Couple that with our video, and you will totally understand how guns work in ASL. I highly recommend it for its high-quality components and in-depth articles. I would put it on the must-have list for any advanced Squad Leader player. We have been reviewing the phase sequence in the advanced Squad Leader player turn. The rally phase and the prep-fire phase are now complete, so we are going to move to the movement phase. Like most things in ASL, there is a lot more to the movement phase than just moving pieces. At the start of the attacker's movement phase, they may designate a new spotter for a mortar that has lost its spotter, and leaders and crew in exposed tanks can fire star shells during nighttime scenarios. After these activities, the attacker then has to prepare to move his units. Units move in a particular order. The first thing that happens is that any units that went Berserk on the previous turn now move first. With any discussion about Berserk status, we first have to see how a unit becomes Berserk. Usually, units become Berserk secondary to a Heat of Battle dice roll. Heat of Battle, or HOB in ASL vernacular, occurs after a dice roll of 2 during a morale check or rally dice roll. Certain units are exempt from HOB. Those conducting Banzai charges, climbing, human waves, parachuting, wading, swimming, self-rallying, or suffering a Pangean morale check are not subject to the Heat of Battle. Also, crew, heroes, and PRC are not subject to Heat of Battle either. With these criteria in mind, let's go to the battlefield. We are now entering the Russian movement phase. You'll notice that the Russian 8-1 leader and 447 armed with a medium machine gun and a demo charge are marked with a Berserk sticker. This occurred during the German advanced fire phase of the previous turn, when the German 9-2 467 light machine gun stack attacked that stack with a 2 flat shot and rolled a 4. The leader rolled a snake eyes and then an 8. On the Heat of Battle dice roll, he became Berserk. According to the Heat of Battle table, the criteria was met for the Heat of Battle roll. We modified the subsequent Heat of Battle dice roll as follows. -1 for elite because SMC are elite, and +2 for being Russian for a total modifier of +1. Since the Russian player rolled an 8 on the Heat of Battle dice roll for the leader, the 8 was modified to a 9, so he became Berserk. On the subsequent attack roll against the 447, it rolled a 10 on its morale check and broke. After that shot was done, the 447 had to take a normal task check. If he rolled a 7 or less, he would go back to unbroken status and go Berserk with the leader. Since this was an 8-1 leader, there was a -1 DRM to that task check roll. The Russian player rolled a 7 on the NTC, so the 447 went Berserk, and now the 8-1 and 447 start the next Russian player turn Berserk. Berserk units are not eligible for prep fire because they have to move first during the movement phase. However, if it was the Russian defensive fire phase, they could fire normally. There are 7 things you need to know about Berserk units. 1. They have morale of 10. 2. The leader's morale cannot affect the squad in any way. 3. They cannot pin. 4. If they fail a morale check, they do not break, they casualty reduce. 5. They have movement allowance of 8 movement factors. 6. They cannot declare assault move even if they are only moving 1 hex. And Berserk units do not advance during the advanced fire phase. Before the Berserk units charge, they must drop any weapons with a portage value of greater than 1, or any one portage point weapon that makes it exceed its IPC. One minor note also is that if the Berserk unit possesses a demo charge, you can only throw that DC. It cannot be placed. The target of their charge is the enemy unit that is closest to them in hexes, not movement factors. But they must use the smallest number of movement factors to enter the enemy location. Now, who does the Berserk 8-1 and 447 charge? The 9-2 467 with light machine gun stack is 3 hexes away and would take 6 MF to get to. The 436 looks like a prime target. It's a bunch of rookies out. The 436 looks like a prime target. It's a bunch of rookies out in the open. They are only 4 hexes away and would only need 4 MF to get to. The target the Russians actually have to charge is the 548 on the second level. It's the closest number of hexes away, even though it would take 5 MF to get to, so 548 becomes the target of the Berserk unit's charge. The crazy Russians would have to leave the medium machine gun behind because it's too heavy. They would enter the street for 1. Go into the building underneath the 548 squad for movement factors 2 and 3. Up the staircase to the first level for 4, and then enter the hex containing the 548 for 5. The firing options are many for the Germans' first fire phase. We will cover them during the first fire phase video. For now, we are just going through the movement of the Russians. Once the Berserk unit has stopped moving, either by getting to its target hex or being eliminated, then the rest of the Russian movement phase can take place. Now, let's assume that our same hapless 81447 medium machine gun and DC stack moved out into the street and got shot at by the 436 conscript squad. If the same result occurred with the 8-1 rolling snake eyes, become a Berserk, and turning the 447 Berserk, the stack would drop the medium machine gun in the street. It would also have 8 MF to use for further movement, minus whatever movement factors it took to get to that point. Since our stack used 1 MF to get to the street, they would have 7 movement factors left to charge their target. While the original intention was to get into the stone building across the street to set up a defensive position, they would turn and charge the 436 with the 7 MF they have left. They would make it there in 2 additional movement factors. Finally, if a unit becomes Berserk and they cannot see any enemy unit to charge, they become Fanatic instead. This concludes part 1 of the movement phase. I hope you found it enjoyable and useful. Please remember, this and all our videos are meant as an introduction to give you enough confidence to dive in and have some fun playing this great game. The best way to learn this game is to play and don't worry about making mistakes. Play a more experienced player and perhaps go to one of the many tournaments around the country, like the Nor'easter in Boxborough, Massachusetts, or the New York State ASL Championships in Albany, New York. If you like this and our other videos, like us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. If you have any thoughts, questions, or suggestions, feel free to contact us at jdhobbies@live.com. You can also find us in a Google search at J&D Hobbies in Massapequa Park. Like always, thanks for watching.